The State Bond Commission, which is chaired by Governor Malloy, is expected to approve two requests for the city of Norwalk. One is $1.38 million as part of the Alliance District grants that will be coming to Norwalk for school construction. It'll go towards improvements to windows or doors or boilers, heating or ventilation systems, basically hard costs that will help improve our schools. I know, for instance, that there's been discussion about having West Rocks having their windows replaced because those are original and not very energy efficient, and they're in need of repair. I believe that this money will go towards those kinds of much needed repairs in our city. The second is for $850,000, which will go into the redevelopment agency, into what's called the Norwalk Housing Corporation, for homeownership opportunities around the South Norwalk train station. This also is extremely important. This particular allocation, the redevelopment agency was hoping that would come on last month. There were some questions. We smoothed out that and got the proper answers to the Department of Housing and Economic and Community Development, and so therefore it'll be coming on to this month's Bond Commission agenda as well. So I'm very excited about both of these. The $1.3 million is actually the third highest allocation in the state. There are two at $1.7 million. Norwalk is at $1.3 million. We know that our schools need capital work, and I'm glad that the state is going to be a part of that work as well. We're going to be having some additional announcements in the coming weeks on additional money that is coming to Norwalk through our state budget, but I wanted to make sure that we announce these as well. Additionally, there had been a report that the Norwalk Public Schools were going to be cut $2 million in school funding over the next fiscal year. That is incorrect. In fact, the school district, in fact, the city of Norwalk will be receiving a $2 million increase next fiscal year over what they're receiving this fiscal year, thanks to the sales tax sharing idea that I had championed for many years. It is true that there will be a $1.6 million cut to the increase, but again, net over net, Norwalk is receiving a $2 million increase next fiscal year in state funding. There's about a $57,000 cut to ECS, but that does not take into account priority school district money, and we have made a couple fixes to that in the state budget. So the city of Norwalk and the Norwalk Board of Education should be receiving an additional $70,000 in priority school money that's been sitting in the state for the year because of a drafting error with the Office of Policy and Management. In addition, they'll be receiving the next $70,000 next fiscal year as well. So we continue to work hard. We continue to fight for funding for our city, do it in a responsible way. But again, Norwalk is receiving $2 million more next fiscal year in state aid than it did this year. So we consider that a win and a success, especially during these difficult budget times. The $2 million is through the municipal revenue sharing account. So that would all go to the city. Again, the ECS funding that also goes to the city will then be sent. Most of it will probably be sent to the Board of Education. This extra $1.3 million for at least for hard capital costs is something that I would suspect the superintendent will be very happy about, and that it also the mayor will be, because that's less city money that they need to spend on vital improvements. So nothing has changed from a standpoint of what is already allocated there, and I think that we have worked really hard this year. To minimize any losses, and in fact, again, we have additional $2 million coming to the city that had not been here previously this fiscal year.